Well, listen, good afternoon to everybody, and it's great to see so many people here today. Thank you for making the time. As you all know, on October 2nd, we faced the test that no airport wants to face. And certainly the tragic accident of the B-17 here at Bradley really impacted the entire Bradley community. And certainly our thoughts and prayers are still with the victims, their families, and everyone who was affected by the accident. But we thought it's very important for us today to recognize the fine work of the Connecticut Airport Authority personnel that responded to the accident scene. Certainly, there were a number of courageous employees that really jumped in that day. And I'm convinced that response really saved a number of lives. So, you know, I've said it to you before. I'm going to say it again today. Very big thank you from me. I certainly thank you for everything you did that day, and I thank you for everything that you do for the CAA each day. We're going to have a very short speaking program, but before I introduce our first speaker, I want to recognize a number of attendees that are here. First and foremost, we have Governor Lamont, who you'll be hearing from very shortly. We also have the CAA Vice Chair of the Board, Mike Long, who will also be speaking. I also want to recognize State Representative Tammy Zawistowski. Representative Zawistowski represents East Granby, Suffield, and Windsor, so certainly towns that the airport touches, but more importantly, towns that did supply significant mutual aid to us on the day of the accident. We're also joined by a number of CAA board members, and I just want to recognize those board members that are in attendance today. We have Mary Ellen Jones. We have Peter McAlpin, Brett Browchuk, I think Brett, there's Brett, Matt Kelly, Bob Aronson, Commissioner Joe Giletti, DOT Commissioner Joe, and Karen Jarmock. So thank you all for being here today. So at this point, I'd like to introduce the CAA Vice Chair, Mike Long.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. There's some difficult circumstances that you've all been through, and I want to let you know that I am not totally a stranger to the airport. I'm going to give you just a little background, and then we'll move on. Many, many years ago, far, far away in the south end of Hartford, as a little boy, my dad used to take me down to a place called Brainerd Field, which was the precursor to now Connecticut's International Airport. And he explained to me down there the underlying theories of air travel, which was relatively new for people. And he would say, basically underlying everything are three concepts: safety, comfort, and convenience. Several years after that, not quite so many years ago, in 1984, then Governor Bill O'Neill appointed me the first chair of the advisory Bradley International Airport Commission. During the first modification and major reorganization of this facility and modernization of this facility took place during those years. And again, the emphasis then was on the same sort of concepts: safety, comfort, and convenience. In 2011, Governor Daniel Malloy was instrumental in the creation of the Connecticut Airport Authority to help fulfill Bradley's promise as the economic engine for not only Connecticut, but for the region as a whole. Control was given to a new board of directors to be made up of seasoned senior business executives and government officials. I was appointed at that time to the board by Governor Malloy, and then later elected to be vice chair of the board by the members. The theme of everything I've done over the years goes back to safety, comfort, and convenience. In the absence of a CAA chair, Tony Sheridan, who's traveling out of the country on business today, it's my privilege on behalf of the board to sincerely thank all CAA staff for their efforts in response to the crash. These types of incidents are never expected, but it's clear that you were thoroughly prepared and equipped to meet the challenge. We are all grateful for your expert handling of the matter but we are also grateful for everything you do each day for the CAA. You are a manifest of that early lesson of safety, comfort, and convenience. I've always been impressed with the caliber of employees here at Bradley. I am certainly impressed by your level of dedication to the job. And again, on behalf of the board, thank you for everything you have done. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a great supporter of the airport. We have worked with her on a number of airport issues. It's my pleasure to introduce Representative Tammy Zawistowski.
Thank you. Working with the CAA, you prepare for events like what happened earlier this month, or earlier in October, thinking that you're never ever going to have to use that preparation. When you did, you came through 100%. You did an incredible job saving lives, making sure that people were safe. And I just want to say that we are all eternally grateful for the amazing job that you did with this recent tragedy. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce another great supporter of the airport, someone who responded immediately to the airport once the accident occurred, and someone who stayed actively engaged in our recovery efforts. It's my pleasure to introduce Governor Ned Lamont. Governor?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just on my way up here, I was getting the wire, and it said that Bradley Airport was just voted by over 60,000 voters from Condé Nast is one of the 5 best airports in the United States of America. And maybe that was comfort and convenience and safety, Mike. But I also think they ought to remember all the folks who are here in this room when it comes to our firefighting units and maintenance and operations. And those of you that showed up on October 2nd, I guess, when the B-17 went down, I'm told that you were there within 2 minutes. I was told that you had the fire out within 5 minutes. And I know that you saved lives. And one of my jobs as governor is to keep telling the story about what the amazing folks who work in this state do for our state and for people, and what a difference they make. And what a difference you made that day for those folks who survived, and what a difference you make for Bradley Airport, which is such a big part of Connecticut's future. The growth and opportunity here, the international flights, the fact that it's being nationally recognized is so important to our future, and each and every one of you are part of that. It's October 2nd and everything you did that day, and it's what you continue to do every day for the great state of Connecticut. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Governor. Now, we'd like each of the units that were the primary responders that day to actually come up to the podium, greet the governor, and we'd like to issue a commemorative coin, a challenge coin that the CAA has issued. So I'd like to start with the ARF group, and I know they're scattered throughout the room, so maybe I can start with this table right here, if you could just come on up to the podium. Governor, if you want to just come around over here in front of the podium. Why don't we have the operations group come up next?
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Dr. Lamont, thank you.
We have maintenance tomorrow. Don't be shy, guys. Can we have the security office folks come up?
Nice to meet you.
These are our dedicated employees in the CAA who do wonderful things for us every day, but they performed flawlessly the day of the accident. And again, I'll say it one more time, I certainly thank them for everything they do here. So thank you, guys and gals. So continue to enjoy coffee, and I think there's still some cookies outside. Thanks.